There are times in life when it feels as if the world is closing in around you, when the weight of sorrow presses so heavily on your heart that even the simplest breath becomes a struggle. There are times when the pain echoes louder than any prayer, when the wounds run deeper than hope, and when the night seems endless, leaving you drained of strength. And I know that someone listening right now understands exactly what this feels like. You have been battling in silence. You have been carrying an invisible load. You've been grappling with questions that remain unspoken. But hear this with all your heart. God is speaking to your situation today. He is declaring something powerful over your life. God is telling you your healing and restoration are drawing near, not in some distant future, not in another season, but right now, rising, coming towards you with certainty and power. God has seen your tears. God has heard your cries, and He has decided that you will not remain where pain has kept you. When God speaks healing, nothing can stand in its way. Not the judgments of others, not the memories of your failures, not the wounds of your past, nor the lies the enemy whispered in your weakest moments. When God announces restoration, no power on earth can prevent it, because God does not speak empty words. God does not make promises without fulfilling them. He does not declare something unless His authority is behind it. And He is speaking over you now. He is declaring that the chapter of sickness, brokenness, despair, and delay is being replaced by a chapter of strength, renewal, clarity, and victory. This is not wishful thinking. This is not fleeting optimism. This is the voice of the one who created you, who has sustained you, who has carried you, and who has protected you even when you couldn't see how close His care was. You may look at your life and see shattered pieces, but God sees a future being built. You may feel weak, but God sees strength rising. You may feel weary, but God sees perseverance forming. You may feel defeated, but God sees victory on the horizon. Nothing about your situation overwhelms God. He is not shaken by the doctor's diagnosis. He is not rattled by the betrayals you faced. He is not confused by the challenges blocking your path. God specializes in the impossible. God demonstrates His power in moments that seem beyond repair. And when He chooses to heal, healing is certain. When He chooses to restore, restoration is inevitable. When God sets a new season in motion, nothing can reverse it. Some of you have prayed for healing for a long time. You've been waiting in a place where your heart has grown tired. You've wondered whether God truly heard you. You've questioned whether the silence meant abandonment. But that silence was not neglect. That silence was preparation. While you were waiting, God was aligning the circumstances you couldn't see. While you were weeping, God was strengthening you in ways you couldn't recognize. While you were hurting, God was shaping your character, building your endurance, refining your faith, and purifying your heart. Healing and restoration are not just events. They are profound transformations. They go deeper than surface-level fixes. They rebuild from the core, changing you from the inside out. When God brings restoration, it is not just a return of what was lost. It is the return of something better, stronger, wiser, and more grounded than ever before. Some of you have been enduring emotional pain that left scars invisible to others. You've carried disappointments that continue to echo. You've walked through seasons where trust was shattered, relationships failed, promises crumbled, and hope slipped away. But God is speaking to you today, saying that He is entering the places where your heart has been broken. He is touching the memories that have haunted you. He is lifting the weight that has burdened your spirit. God does not ignore emotional wounds. He heals them. He restores them. He strengthens what sorrow has weakened. He rebuilds what conflict is torn. He renews what loss has drained. And the same God who calms the storms around you is the same God who quiets the storms within you. Hear me clearly. This season will not leave you the same. You will not leave with the same burdens you entered with. God is closing the chapters that drained your spirit. He is resolving what troubled your mind. He is bringing order to what felt chaotic. You may not understand the timing, but God is never late. You may not see the full picture of the process, but God's methods are always perfect. When He restores purpose. When He heals completely. When He lifts you to a place you could never reach on your own. There is someone listening right now who feels forgotten. You may feel as though healing has passed you by, as if restoration has touched everyone but you. But you have not been overlooked. God has not misplaced your name. God has not forgotten your prayers. He has not abandoned your tears. In fact, some of the greatest breakthroughs come after the longest waits. Some of the strongest victories emerge after the heaviest struggles. The pain you endured was not the end. It was a sign that something powerful was about to break through. Pressure always intensifies before something powerful is released. And the pressure in your life wasn't there to destroy you. It was shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the healing and restoration that are now coming your way. God is saying that the pain that once defined you will no longer control you. The fear that once paralyzed you will no longer hold you back. The doubt that once clouded your mind will no longer silence your faith. God is lifting you from what tried to bury you. He is removing the residue of what tried to break you. He is clearing the smoke of past battles and revealing the new landscape He is guiding you toward. Restoration is not just about fixing what was broken. It's about positioning you for what lies ahead. God is not just returning what was lost. God is preparing you for more than you ever thought possible. You might be wondering, how can God restore me after everything that's happened? How can healing reach me when I feel so broken? But remember this, God does not require perfect conditions to work. He does not need flawless circumstances. He does not need everything to be in order. God creates beauty from ashes. God brings order from chaos. God speaks light into darkness. God breathes life into barren places. The same God who formed the universe from nothing can rebuild your life, no matter what has been lost, stolen, or damaged. There is a powerful truth God wants you to grasp today. Healing and restoration do not begin when the circumstances change. They begin the moment God speaks it into existence. The moment God speaks over your life, the atmosphere around you shifts. The moment God decides to move, everything working against you loses its power. The moment God declares restoration, everything that tried to stop you becomes temporary because His word carries an authority that cannot be challenged. And God has spoken. God is declaring your healing and restoration are on the way. You may not feel it yet, but it's coming. You may not see any signs yet, but it's on the way. You may not understand how God will do it, but that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to believe, to trust, to stay open, to stay expectant, and to stay aligned with Him even when the path seems unclear. Faith does not eliminate difficulties, but it gives you the strength to stand firm while God completes what He started. Faith does not remove battles, but it keeps you anchored while God fights for you. Faith does not instantly erase pain, but it ensures that pain will not have the final say. Let me speak directly to the one whose heart is weary. You've prayed, you've waited, you've hoped, and you've pressed through seasons you thought would break you. Your soul feels tired, but hear this. God is not asking you to pretend to be strong. God is not asking you to hide your weaknesses or act as though you have it all together. God is asking you to hand Him the broken pieces. God is asking you to surrender the exhaustion that has drained you. God is asking you to release the pain that has lingered too long, because healing starts where surrender happens. Restoration begins where trust deepens. When you let go of what you cannot carry, God fills your hands with what only He can provide. Some of you are battling physical issues that have lasted for years, pain that robs you of sleep, a diagnosis that steals your peace, a struggle that drains your energy, and you've asked, when will this change? The answer God is giving you today is this: change is already in motion. Healing is already flowing. Restoration is already being formed. What you see is not the full picture. What you feel is not the final result. God is working in places your eyes cannot see. God is shifting things in ways your mind cannot comprehend. God is aligning every step you need to enter into a season of renewed strength and restored health. Many listening right now are fighting mental battles. Anxiety has gripped your mind. Doubt has shattered your steps. Overthinking has drained your energy. And the enemy has attempted to convince you that peace will never find its way back. But hear this clearly. God is reclaiming your mind. He is quieting the voices that have tormented you. He is filling your thoughts with clarity, wisdom, confidence, and peace. Peace is not a privilege for a few. It is a promise God offers to all who seek Him. And God is bringing that peace back into your life. There are also those of you who need restoration in your relationships. Hearts that once trusted now feel cautious. Connections that once felt unbreakable now seem fragile. But God restores what others break. God heals what conflict wounds. God rebuilds what misunderstandings tear apart. Even if a relationship does not return, God will restore your inner peace, your emotional balance, your self-worth, and your ability to trust and love again. What was broken within you is not beyond repair because God restores what human hands cannot reach. Some of you need restoration in your purpose. Life has thrown setbacks so painful that you began to question your calling. You doubted your worth. You started to believe that maybe you missed your moment. But God is declaring today that your purpose is not lost. Your calling is not gone. Your destiny is not canceled. What God has placed inside you cannot be undone by hardship. What God has planned for you cannot be erased by failure. What God has destined for you cannot be stopped by opposition. God is about to revive dreams that seem buried. He is rekindling passions that once dimmed. He is restoring direction where confusion once prevailed. You are entering a season where clarity returns, confidence rises, and purpose unfolds in ways you never imagined. And as healing and restoration come your way, remember this: God is not merely fixing what was broken. He are emerging from this season stronger, wiser, deeper, more resilient, and more connected to Him. You are stepping into a strength that only those who have suffered can carry. You are rising into a faith that is forged through fire. You are walking into a maturity that only trial can shake. And one day you will look back on this season and realize that what tried to destroy you actually molded you. What attempted to break you actually built you. What tried to silence you actually taught you to speak with greater conviction than ever before. Greater than the pain you endured. He is preparing you for a level of blessing that requires the strength you have developed in this season. He is preparing you for opportunities that will need the wisdom your tears have taught you. He is preparing you for relationships that require the discernment your heartbreak has created. He is preparing you for breakthroughs that will demand the endurance your trials have produced. Nothing in your journey has been wasted. Nothing in your suffering has been pointless. Nothing in your struggle has been in vain. Everything you've endured has a purpose, and God is about to reveal it. Now, God is calling you to rise within yourself, to stand in faith, to lift your head, to strengthen your voice, to shake off fear, and to move forward with expectation, because healing is on the way. Restoration is on its way. Breakthrough is coming. A new season is arriving. God is moving. God is speaking. God is restoring. God is healing. God is elevating you into the future. He designed for you long before the battle even began. God is working in ways you cannot yet see. But this movement is carrying you toward a future you once thought impossible. There is a shift happening around you. Even if your eyes haven't caught up to it yet, there is a quiet reordering taking place behind the scenes. Every detail is being carefully arranged by the one who knows exactly what you need before you even ask. God is not just putting you back where you were. He is leading you into a place you've never been, a place defined by growth, wisdom, discipline, renewal, and strength. And this next stretch of your journey will look nothing like the road behind you. because God is preparing you to walk with a new posture. The battles that once intimidated you will no longer rattle you. The fears that once silenced you will no longer have a hold on you. The doubts that once clouded your thoughts will no longer be allowed to linger. God is equipping you with resilience that can only be built through experience. And this resilience is becoming the evidence of His hand upon your life. You may not realize it, but your spirit is already transforming. The weight that once pulled you down is losing its hold. The fatigue that once blurred your vision is beginning to lift. You are gradually reclaiming strength you forgot you had. You are uncovering courage that hardship unearthed. You are learning to stand even when the ground beneath you shifts. This is the refining work of God. He is not only healing what hurt you, He is strengthening what will carry you into the next season. Healing is not just about relief. Restoration is not just about returning to what was. It's about preparation. It's about alignment. It's about rising into a version of yourself that can handle the blessings as responsibilities and opportunities God is placing in your hands. Some of you have endured seasons that would have crushed someone with less strength. You have held on when others would have given up. You've pushed through nights when you felt forgotten. You've persevered through days when your heart felt fragile. You've kept going even when you didn't know how you were still standing. That perseverance is not by chance. That strength is not random. God has been forming something inside you through every challenge, and what He has formed cannot be easily shaken. The wounds of the past may have left their marks, but those marks are now reminders of a God who sustained you when nothing else could. Every scar tells a story, and every story carries proof that God never allowed the darkness to consume you. Some breakthroughs come instantly from God and others unfold gradually. The gradual transformations are often the most profound because they teach you to walk alongside God rather than just waiting for Him. They guide you to trust even when the evidence seems scarce. They encourage you to believe even when the outcome is unclear. They remind you that faith is more than an emotion. It is a choice you make every single day. And this kind of faith is not something that can be manufactured. It is developed, it is stretched, it is purified. Many of you are standing right where God has placed you at the crossroads between what once hurt you and what is now healing you, carrying a faith that has been made unshakable because it has been tested. God is speaking into your season, declaring that the time ahead will replace the sound of sorrow with the sound of joy. It will exchange the weight you've been carrying with peace that settles deep within your spirit. It will trade the restlessness that has stolen your rest with clarity that directs your every step. You are entering a chapter where the burdens you once bore will no longer define your days. God is leading you from exhaustion to renewal, from confusion to clarity, from dryness to abundance. What once drained you will no longer control you because God is filling you with a fresh strength, one that doesn't come from your own efforts, but from divine intervention. While this restoration unfolds, understand that God isn't asking you to perform. He doesn't expect you to impress Him, asking for your trust. That trust is the gateway through which healing flows. Restoration takes root. When you trust God, even in the unknown, you make space for Him to work beyond your expectations. When you trust God, you allow Him to lift the burdens you were never meant to carry. When you trust God, you stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight in the first place. And when you trust God, the peace you've been longing for begins to settle deeply in your heart. There are times when God guides you through a storm, not to test your endurance, but to reveal what needed healing. Some storms expose the fractures in your faith so that God can strengthen them. Some storms reveal those who were never meant to walk beside you, allowing God to remove them without regret. Some storms bring to light habits or patterns that needed breaking before they broke you. And when God reveals something, it is always to restore it. Nothing He exposes is meant to shame you. Nothing He highlights is meant to condemn you. He uncovers what needs healing so that He can replace it with something greater. You are entering a season where everything God has revealed will now be transformed. God is preparing to lift the burdens that have become far too heavy. He is removing emotional weight you were never meant to carry alone. He is uprooting thoughts planted in fear, insecurity, or trauma. He is pulling you out of cycles that have drained you year after year, and He is replacing all of that with wisdom, clarity, discernment, and inner strength. Your mind is being transformed. Your heart is finding stability. Your spirit is being strengthened. The restoration God brings is not fragile. It runs deep, it endures, it is powerful, and it is meant to anchor you for what lies ahead. Pay attention. You are not being restored to who you were. You are being restored to who you were, always meant to be. There is a profound difference. The old version of you is filled with doubt. The new version of you carries conviction. The old version questioned your worth. The new version walks confidently, rooted in God's approval. The old version lived in fear. The new version moves with boldness. The old version felt broken. The new version knows that God can take brokenness and turn it into something even stronger than before. You are stepping into a version of yourself that reflects the battles you've overcome and the God who carried you through them. You are not just rising, you are rising with wisdom you didn't possess before. You are rising with a deeper understanding of God's timing, protection, presence, and purpose. You are rising with a spirit that refuses to bow to fear because you've witnessed firsthand how God shows up in the darkest places. You are rising with a heart that understands pain but refuses to be defined by it. You are rising with a strength forged in silence, and you are rising with a faith that has become your anchor. Nothing in your journey has disqualified you from the healing God is bringing. Nothing you lost made you unworthy of restoration. Nothing that broke you placed you beyond God's reach. In fact, many of the things you thought disqualified you were the very tools God used to prepare you. Every setback shaped you. Every disappointment taught you. Every loss refined you. Every delay strengthened you. And now God is using what you survived as proof that you're ready for what He's about to release. You are stepping into a season where peace will come more easily, where your steps will feel lighter, where your decisions will feel clearer, and where your purpose will feel sharper. You will respond differently, think differently, walk differently, love differently, and hope differently because God has shifted something deep inside you. The healing God is bringing is not just physical or mental healing, but healing of identity, healing of how you see yourself, healing of how you view your future, healing of what you believe you deserve. God is raising you into an identity built on strength, not survival, on confidence, not uncertainty, on peace, not fear. For so long, you've been fighting to survive each day. Now God is teaching you how to thrive. For so long, you've been trying to keep yourself together. Now God is holding you together with a strength that will never fade. For so long, you've carried your wounds as though they were the final chapter. Now God is rewriting your story with purpose woven into every line. What is coming is not by chance. It is appointed. It is intentional. It is divine. Healing is not just a possibility, it's a promise. Restoration is not a far-off hope, it's already unfolding. And God is telling you that what's ahead will outweigh everything that tried to break you. The season you're about to enter will make sense of all the tears you've shed. God is saying the blessing that is coming will overshadow the pain that once seemed endless. God is telling you that your healing and restoration are not only on the horizon, they're closer than you realize, stronger than you imagined, and greater than you ever dreamed. moment in every believer's life when the soul senses a shift long before the eyes can see it. A moment when something deep inside you whispers that the season is about to change. You may not have the evidence just yet. You may not have the confirmation you were hoping for, but your spirit feels a quiet pull, a gentle stirring, an awareness that God is guiding you into something new. That stirring is not merely your imagination. That is God awakening your spirit to what He has already set in motion. God always prepares the heart before He reveals the blessing. He softens the soil before He plants the seed. He strengthens the foundation before He builds something greater upon it. And right now, God is preparing you for healing that will touch every area of your life. There are wounds you've carried for so long that you stopped expecting them to heal. You've adapted to them. You've worked around them. You've made room for the pain because you didn't want to hope again, only to be disappointed. But hear this clearly. God is not asking you to pretend those wounds don't exist. He's not asking you to ignore the ache or bury the memory. God is acknowledging those deep places. He is placing His hand on what hurt you. He is touching what you thought was permanently broken. He is speaking life into the parts of you that have been silent, numb, or forgotten. God doesn't shy away from broken places. He walks straight into them and brings renewal where you once believed nothing good could grow. And the healing God is bringing will not require you to return to old versions of yourself. You won't be asked to shrink to fit someone else's expectations. You won't be asked to downplay what you've survived or pretend the journey hasn't shaped you. God is calling you into a stronger identity, not a smaller one. He's calling you into the person He always intended for you to be. Some of the heaviness you've carried has been the burden of holding on to what God was asking you to release. Some of the confusion you felt was God redirecting you even when you didn't realize it. When God heals, He doesn't just take away pain. He removes attachments that have been holding you back, beliefs that have been limiting you, and patterns that have been sabotaging your future. But hear this too. Restoration is not just about what God restores to you. It's about what He teaches you through the process. It's about learning to forgive yourself for the times you trusted the wrong voices. It's about releasing the need to understand everything. It's about letting go of the urge to control outcomes. It's about seeing your life as something shaped by divine wisdom, not by random events. It's about surrendering your timeline so God can move in His perfect timing. These lessons may have come through discomfort, but they have prepared you in ways that comfort never could. Strength doesn't come from ease. Strength comes from endurance. Wisdom doesn't come from predictability. Wisdom comes from challenge. And faith doesn't grow from certainty. Faith grows in the unknown. What God is restoring within you is not fragile. It will not collapse the moment pressure appears. It will not shatter the next time hardship arises. God is giving you a foundation that can endure storms that would have shattered you before. God is giving you a sense of purpose that will not be swayed by others' opinions. God is granting you discernment that protects you from repeating past errors. God is providing you with a peace that is not reliant on external circumstances, a peace that grounds you, a peace that shields you, a peace that carries you, peace that comes from knowing God hears you, sees you, understands you, and is already gone before you. Someone point what appeared as loss was actually redirection. What broke your heart prepared you for growth. What closed before you spared you from harm. God protects you through blessings, and other times God shields you through obstacles.